Amen. Amen.
This record button. So welcome, guys. This is our Monday Mindset Call. Thank you so much for jumping on. It is your girl, Nikki Sutherland, here with another Monday Mastery. And today's topic is going to be handling our emotions well. And it's the power of handling our emotions well. We've been in the Power series now for a while. I don't know how long the Power series is going to carry on for. But I believe that there is power in focusing on the power. So there we have it. If you are able to, go ahead and turn your cameras on, get your notebooks ready as we begin this session. So emotions, guys, this is one of them things that's quite personal, isn't it? How many of us have ever been in a situation where we've been emotional? anyone ever been emotional? Let me get my chat box back so I can see you guys. And if you do feel a point, you can unmute yourself and just, give me the energy. I'll make sure that everyone can unmute at any time. But yes, emotions are one of the hardest things to kind of describe sometimes because it's personal. And one of the things that, is very important is that we understand our emotions. So I'm going to be teaching through question and we're going to work together on this. But here's one of the things: emotions tell us when something's not right, right? Emotions can tell us when something is a little bit off, okay? So imagine, emotions being the spiritual pain in alignment with, physical pain. How can I put this? So if you went to touch something hot, all right, your reaction to that will be like this, right? Your reaction to touching something hot, because the feeling of that heat, that physical pain, all right, tells us that something's not right, okay? So the physical pain tells us when something is not right. Well, our emotion is the trigger telling us that spiritually something's not right, right? So if you align it with pain, emotions are telling us when something is not right, right? Can you imagine? I want you to imagine if you didn't have physical pain in your hands, okay? And you had your hand on something hot for a very long time and you did not feel the pain. So because you didn't feel the pain, guess what happens? Your hand begins to burn and you have no idea until all of a sudden you see it start peeling, it start getting all fit. And by the time you realize, it is too late because the pain was not indicate. The pain indicates when something is wrong. So if you don't have pain, you are not going to realize when something's wrong, right? Yes or yes, guys? So when you're thinking about it physically, something hot touching my hand right now, that's going to alarm me that something's not right. That's going to alarm me that maybe I've got to move my hand over here. That's going to alarm me that something needs to shift. Well, if you think the emotion is the same thing spiritually, when something ain't right, there's an emotion there for it, right? And we're going to go into a few examples in a moment, but that's how I want us to think. It is the emotions are the spiritual of what the physical pain is, alerting that there is something wrong, okay? That there's something wrong. Now, emotions can tell us what we love, all right? How many of us have been emotional over something or somebody that we love, all right? Those of you that know, I am very, very, I'm into football. I love football. And when I watch Man United, I get emotional. That's my team, right? And when we win, I'm excited. That's an emotion. I get excited. I go on Instagram and I'm winding up my Arsenal fans, and I'm excited. I'm pumped. You can see it. And when we have a dodgy game, well, not me personally, but when we have a dodgy game, you see people like Ollie out, and it gets really emotional. People get emotional over what they love, right? I am in love. I love food. You guys see it on my stories. I get emotional over macaroni and cheese. I get emotional over that jerk chicken. I get emotional over things that I love, right? How many of us have got emotional over a man? Let's keep it real. Or a woman, if you're a man on this call. You get emotional over the people that you love. For me personally, I get emotional over my children. If anything goes on with my children, I'll get emotional. We get emotional sometimes over things that we love. You can put in the chat something that you love that you get emotional on. What do you get emotional about? I get emotional over my business. I love my business, guys. I love my business. I love what I do. And normally your emotions are linked. Okay, you can tell what somebody is in love with by what they get emotional about, right? How many of you will know that when somebody hurts you that's close, it's completely different to a random stranger? Like you don't get emotional as much as it is as somebody that you love, right? So your emotions usually tell you what you love, all right? And I can see some things coming there. Our emotions also can give us an indication on our beliefs, what we believe, all right? When we have certain belief levels, we can become emotional. Now, whatever you believe in, whatever you're believing for, okay, so in particular vision, we can get emotional about that as well. Now, here's the thing. Whatever you believe truly from your heart can get us emotional. Think about it. I want you to think about this. Let's say, for example, cast your mind back to when you were a youngster, 5, 6 years old. And I don't know if anybody, this is Jamaican, where they used to say, if you come out your bed, doppy is underneath your bed. Did anyone get told that by their parents, that there was a doppy under the bed? A ghost or some kind of monster under your bed, right? And one of the things that I used to do is I used to look under my bed before I went to bed. It was just like a routine because I believed that at some point there could have been a monster under my bed, right? And when your emotions have a fear factor to it, it also shows you what you believe. Now, if I didn't believe that there was a possibility of there being a monster under my bed, I will not be checking that bed every day. But the fact that I believe that it could be, that belief, that emotion is what was affecting the decisions that I was making, right? So our emotions can also cause us to show what it is that we believe or not. Yes or yes, makes sense. I want to unpack this very, very slowly so we understand it. So your emotions can tell you what you love, but they can also show you what you believe. I'll give you an example. I think I shared this last week where someone said, you're not a good mom. You keep taking your kids out to eat instead of cooking for them every day. I'm like, everybody said that to me now. They can't, that doesn't affect me. But maybe 5 years ago when I had the belief system that I wasn't a good mom, that would then affect me. Make sense? Because what we believe in is what our emotions can show, right? So if I said, I don't know, the hat on Tracy's head was purple, now she knows it's pink, her emotions ain't even gonna rise to that. She'll be like, come on, Nikki, it's pink. Our emotions don't rise to things because if we know something to be true, and this is where I want you to write on your paper, the truth is something, and I'm skipping ahead, is something that will help us to manage our emotions, right? But the emotions teach us exactly what we believe and also what we love. So how do you respond to your emotions? How do we respond to our emotions, guys? What do we do? Okay. Now there's some positive ways to respond to our emotions, and there are some not so positive ways. All right. So some people do what, guys? They bury their emotions. All right. Not generalizing, but it's known for men not to let their emotions out. The stigma is that men are meant to be strong and men are supposed to, toughen up. And what can happen is is they bury their emotions, okay, because that's what it's supposed to, you know, quote unquote, a man thing. And that's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy to bury our emotions, but that's one thing that sometimes we do. How many of us have been guilty of that? Okay, I'll put that to the side. I'm not even going to deal with that. I'll pretend that's not happening. Let's ignore it. All right, let's bring it to the business. How many of you have not logged into your back office because you just don't want to see the number, right? How many of you have been in a trade and you're like, you know, I'm even going to check that trade. It's either it's going to hit TP or it's going to hit stop loss. You don't even want to know. You bury the reality, all right? Because either you don't want to handle the emotion, or you want to make sure that you deal with that another day, right? Very, very not a good way to deal with our emotions. What else? Controlling, all right? Controlled emotions. Now, the controlled emotions are also not very good, where they're not honest emotions, but it's almost like pretending it to be, you know, the passive kind of pretense. Okay, everything's good. Yeah, it's okay. Everything's great. How many of us have ever been like that? I remember, right? I remember one of the time, this is crazy, right? I remember one of, and it can come across a little bit psycho as well, like, are you not going to react? I remember one time, and I'm not even going to share that story, but credibility, no, we're not going to share that story. However, see Lisa would definitely be like, really? But yeah, controlling our emotions. Anybody ever had something that should have really took you out of your comfort zone, that should have really took you to another place, maybe betrayal, maybe, you know, you found out something and you pretended like it weren't happening and you were just like, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, it's all good. Has anyone ever seen that? You know, normally when people are online going, yeah, it's all good, everything's great, yeah, it's all good. And you well and truly know that it ain't good, because if it was good, we wouldn't be saying it's good. It's good, it's good. Are we good? Right? It's that type of stuff that I'm talking about, which is very, very dangerous, right? Very, very dangerous to have these type of emotions that are, you know, pretending to be something that they're not. You good? Are you good? Are we good? I see you. Are you good? Are we good? Am I good? Are you good? No, some ain't good. So, you know, it is very, very dangerous to do that as well. And then you've got the other emotion, a really dangerous one, the explosion. Have you ever, I've been there. I don't know about you guys. You've been there? Everything is just going wrong. And you're just like, doing the controlled one. Yeah, we're good. Then the light bulb pops and then it's like, and you literally just explode. You know the one, the Hulk. Yes, the Hulk explosion. It's like where you're like, hold on, that was one big overreaction because it's just the light bulb. But actually, it's not the light bulb. It's a whole different thing. But the emotions were so controlled that one day, boop, they just went literally popped off. Just like if I was watching, you know, the Man U game and they lost and I get the remote and smash my TV into the wall. Like that is a complete explosion of reaction, of emotion. That is not very healthy, right? So we have, you know, those. And then we have positive ways to respond. The first one is to understand the emotion and ask yourself, why am I feeling what it is that I'm feeling? And, you know, when we ask ourselves questions like that, it normally makes us retrace our steps, start to think deep, begin to analyze the situation, begin to say, okay, where did this come from? What's the root of this? Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel like this? Why is this emotion? And emotions could be fear, anxiety, stress, excitement, frustration. Like, why is it that I'm feeling like this? Understanding your emotions. And a lot of people, as simple as it sounds, most people don't understand their emotions. Why are you angry? What has made you angry? What is it that has happened that's made you so? Have you ever been angry and someone said, well, what's wrong? And you're like, but I don't actually know. Just moaning. Like sometimes when you really track it back, is the anger relative to what it is that you're talking about? Like sometimes there's an overreaction. Sometimes it may not be anger. Sometimes it could be frustration. Sometimes it could be confusion. But it's always asking, like, why is it that I feel the way that I feel? What is it? Oh, yes, the worst thing. Oh, thank you for that. The worst thing is when you know you put something somewhere, or you think you know you put something somewhere and you can't find it. How many of you have been in a place where everyone's getting cussed? And so my house, when they know I'm looking for something, they just run for cover. It's like, who touched my thing? This time everyone's like, not me, not me, not me, not me. Especially if you've got a big family and everyone's like, not me, not me, not me. Okay. You're like, who? Why is it there's no Chris? Why is it there's no Chris? The one time I go to get some Chris, there's no Chris. Who's eating out all the Chris? Why is there no bread? Why is there no milk? And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, take a deep breath, put the handbrake up, Nikki. Stop for a moment. Why are your emotions like this? What's got you so angry? It's bread. It's milk. It's not the bread. It's not the milk. You're tired. Can you see what I'm saying? It's like, why? Where's the anger come from? Because then we start saying, well, I'm working so hard and all I want is a bucket of Chris. So problem ain't the Chris. Problem ain't the Chris. Problem ain't the breads. The problem ain't the milk. Why am I feeling like this? What is going on that has given me this feeling? We got to understand our emotions more. Stop. Pull out the handbrake for a moment and ask yourself, what is it? And I want you to challenge yourself in those moments. I want you to challenge yourself in those moments and really ask yourself, what's really going on here? Have you ever been frustrated to the point where you don't even know why? You're like, what's going on? Oh, don't talk to me, Kay, about when I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I'm hangry. I am a hungry person. I'm not gonna lie. And we can root it back. Yes, I'm hungry. We can root it back. And so there's certain things I had to put in place. All right, we're going to get to solution in a moment, but there's certain things I had to put in place to be able to, and you can't prevent everything, but you can then begin to pinpoint certain triggers in the emotion. So when I get like this, could be lazy. It could be a can't be bothered attitude. How many of us have had that? Where we justify, oh, I'm not gonna do nothing today. I'm just gonna sit and do nothing. Anybody ever had those moments where we feel sorry for ourselves, or we tell ourselves, you know, I've been working so hard. No, but you don't have the results yet. Were you justifying? I'm just gonna do nothing today. I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm gonna watch some Netflix. I'm gonna eat some ice cream. And we have those emotions, which is the pity party emotion, where we throw our toys out the pram and we feel like we're doing so much. And it's about understanding, what are my emotions? What is these emotions telling me? What is it that I need to understand about myself? Do you know, right, guys? And this is something I've started to learn, is that negative emotions actually can reveal more about us than we think. If we find the learning in those negative emotions, they can tell us about what we believe. They can tell us about what we love. They can also uncover past lies in experiences that we've had where we've tricked ourselves. So let's say, for example, every time something happens with a particular individual, it triggers a particular emotion. because we keep saying, we had a call a couple of months ago about trust. You guys remember that? So every time when you have an interaction with somebody, you're always looking for ways of not to trust them because you've always had broken trust in the past. And remember what we said is whatever you look for, you find, right? That's the manifestation rule. If you speak it, if you look for it, you will find it. And so what our emotion does is it shows us lies of the past that we then need to correct. So it teaches us to fear. It teaches us to not trust. It teaches us to be skeptical. It teaches us to do a lot of the things that Robert Kiyosaki said in that video alongside the poor mindset and so forth. These things, these emotions, these negative emotions, if we look into them on a deeper level, they actually can teach us about some of the lies that we've been told growing up, some of the lies that we've been told as, you know, failed communications and failed relationships have maybe taught us, some of the lies that we've been told, maybe told ourselves over time. So, and what it can also tell us, our emotion, is when we're not in alignment with where we want to be, where we're not in alignment with a life goal that we have. I get so many messages from you guys sometimes, like, oh, I'm at work, I need to get out of here, I'm drained. How many know what I'm talking about? That emotion will trigger you and tell you that you're not where you need to be. All right? That will tell you that you're not where you need to be. I want to give you a little example of this, and I think it's important for any successful person to understand their emotions and to be able to deal with their emotions, put the handbrake on, and really assess the way that we will react and respond to different situations. Now, I want you to imagine a man who's got 12 brethren, got 12 friends. He's around the table with them, eating a food. And he already knows that these brethren around the table are going to betray him. He already knows that they're going to sell him out for 3 bags of gold coins. But round the table, although he knows what's going to happen, round the table, homeboy's still feeding these people. In fact, he goes as far as to wash their feet. Anybody know the story I'm talking about? Can you imagine the emotion that he would have been going through knowing that his closest, I want you to understand this, his closest homeboys sitting around the table, 12 of them, were about to reject him, sell man out for 12 bags of gold coins. In fact, his closest one, the closest one, was going to deny him and pretend like he didn't even exist, that he ain't even been rolling with man, he ain't even seen the goodness, he ain't seen nothing. And yet he still washed their feet. Now, how many of you will be able to deal with your emotions in that way, where you know that someone has been about to sell you out for a bag of chips, the closest people to you that's seen you, good, the bad, and you still gonna wash their feet? That's what you call understanding your emotions. You know why? Do you want me to give you the clue? Here we go. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break it for you guys, because you guys are like, Nikki, where you going? I'm gonna give it to you right now. Yeah, John 13:1-5, for those of you that want to know. Right? You know what it said? It said, he knew he was from God. He knew he was going back to God. And he washed their feet. This mindset call is about to be over, guys. Because when you understand what I'm saying, it's going to change everything for you. He knew he was from God. He knew he was going back to God, and he washed their feet. So hold on. You know they're going to betray you. You know they're going to sell you out. They're going to deny you, pretend like you didn't exist. How many of you have ever helped someone and they even pretended like you don't even exist? How many of you had the smile when they borrowed the money and then you had the distance when it was time to pay it back? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Like, yo, they changed my number. I changed my number. Like, well, go on. Like, give me the same energy when you came for the money, in the same way that when you go pay it back, the same way you spoke to me when you were borrowing the money, the same way you need to come to me when you bring it back. Why are we having this issue? But you mean to tell me that he knew that what he was going to give, they couldn't pay him back? The way that man had to understand his emotions to be in that type of environment. Like, homeboy is, like, if you study this homeboy, I tell you, you're going to get some breakthroughs tonight. Let me just tell you what I picked out of that. He knew he was from God. Boom. He knew who he was. When you're handling your emotions, you got to know who you are. So where it comes to fear, frustration, upset, anger, you got to know who you are. Do you know who you are? Sometimes I'll feel that bubbling happening. And sometimes, listen, sometimes I feel procrastination come hit me. I'm like, Nikki, you better remember who you are. I speak to myself. I tell myself, remember who you are. More so, remember whose you are. You see, when crisis comes or the attacks come, you have to know whose you are. Me, I remind myself, you are the daughter of a king. You are a child of God. This is not how a child of God behaves. You better wake up, Nikki. Stand up, Nikki. I'm there shouting at myself. Sometimes Anton's looking at me like, what's going on? I'm having a conversation. Me and me's having a conversation. This is me versus me right now. As my mentor says, old me versus the new me. We gotta have conversations with ourselves. When you feel that spirit coming on, those emotions, those negative emotions, yes, you're gonna ask yourself, what's going on here? Why is this happening? Where are these emotions coming from? And then you're gonna remember who you are. Remember what you've been called to be. Remember whose you are. And then it says, and he knew he was going back to God. Do you know where you're going? Remember where you're going. Where you're going, I put something on my story today. Where you're going is so far much more important than where you currently are right now and where you've been. Can you stay focused on where you're going? Where you're going should be big enough for you, the biggest hope that you have that removes the distractions of today because you know where you're going. You know who you are, whose you are, and where you're going. And we got to get into this space where we check ourselves. Check up from the neck up, my mentor says. Check up from the neck up. Where are you going, Nikki? What's going on? Today, I tell you, the demon came into my head. It was like, don't go netball. You're tired. I was like, you're dirty jankro. You're not going to catch me today. I fling on my leggings. I said to Anton, I was like, well, I'll just see how I am in the next hour and see if I got it. As soon as it came out my mouth, I see. I don't speak like that. I rebuke that I see. I don't see nothing. I'm going to make it happen. You see, this personal development stuff isn't just for the notebook. This personal development stuff is to personally develop. So when you catch yourself speaking that lack mentality, you catch yourself speaking out of the negative emotions, you give yourself a checkup from the neck up. You don't need nobody else to come for you. You come save you. So I had to talk to myself today and say, Nikki, you will be attending netball. You will be going netball today. You ain't no quitter. You show up. That's who you are. I will continue to show up. And I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. You know, I was very, very unwell yesterday. And, you know, you see how the mind works. I speak life over myself. And I was like, no, I am well. I'm fine. I'm fine. I will be doing what it is that I set out to do. And nothing, no demon from hell, no principality, no negative mindset, no negative words, no enemy curse is going to destroy what is going to be my future. I have the power to execute my future. I have the power to decide the emotions that I allow to make me make decisions. Because I can make decisions from fear, or I can make decisions from faith. I can make decisions from a lack mindset, or I can make decisions from a growth mindset. And no setback is going to stop me from doing what it is that I've been called to do. You see, this is the way I speak to myself. Because that mindset, that paradigm has to be shifted. That making excuses has to be shifted out of my vocabulary, out of my system. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, guys, but I give myself a checkup from the neck up. I challenge my mind daily. I am my own mentor. Would you mentor you? Do you trust you to mentor yourself? Do you trust you to hold you accountable to what it is that you say that you want? Because if we don't get a handle over these emotions, them emotions there can cripple us. Them emotions can really break us down. And so we got to make sure that we can check it, we can see it when it comes. And remind ourselves who we are, and where it is that we're going. And so when those emotions creep up, guys, when them emotions creep up, when them emotions come to challenge us, to slow us down, to stop us, if we become aware of these emotions, we're never going to be perfect. We're human flesh. But when we look at people, I want you to think of somebody that you know. How many of us, you know, was on the convention a couple of weeks ago and joined the chairman call last night? Right? We saw David lost his sister. And still, no matter the setback, shows up. How many of you see successful people and what do they have in common? They keep showing up. They keep showing up. Time after time after time after time. But Nikki, they haven't gone through what I've gone through. You don't know because they're not saying it on social media. Successful people are not people that have not gone through things. In fact, they are people that have gone through things, but not allowed those things to stop them or block them. So you got to make sure that you don't make excuses because, you know, your emotions get in the way. Emotions can get in the way of so much. So much. How many of you have not showed up because of emotion? How many of you have said things to yourself like, I'm tired? How many of you have said things to yourself like, oh no, this is my cap. I can't go further than this. In our minds, sometimes we tell ourselves how far we can go. Put a 7 in the chat if you said that, or unmute yourself and say, yes, Nikki. If you've ever put a cap, a limit on where you can go. How many of you have ever said to yourself, if only I make 1,000 a month, that's all I want. And you cap yourself there. This is the season of the 10X. And we've been talking about 10X this month. And we've been talking about 10X in our goals. And what I see is, yes, accountability is important. But what I see is that the ones that are successful that can hold themselves accountable. It's interesting how I can, you know, we come on this call and for whatever reason, some people get more than others because they turn up on time. Some people get more than others because they show up consistently. I said to my mentor the other day, I was like, I prioritize your calls. I would never not be on my mentor's calls. If there's anything that I would miss, it wouldn't be that. I do everything in my power to make sure that I'm around my mentorship, Because the knowledge that I gain is not just in the go lives. It's not just on these calls like this. It's in the quiet moments. It's in the extra moments. It's in the moments where there's link ups. It's in the moments where there's the success that Robert Kiyosaki was talking about in that video is all about mindset. And where your mindset is, you know, most people miss out on opportunities because they fail to show up. When was the last time you messaged your mentor and told your mentor what your goal is for the week? I'm just holding myself accountable. This is what I want to get through this week. I send that to my mentor every week. My mentor is tired of seeing my name, but at least they know my name. My mentor sees me comment on every one of their posts, liking every one of their posts. My mentor sees me show up. If I see my mentor's live, I'm on their live. I'm the first one on their live. I'm stalking my mentor right now, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yesterday, my mentor was on Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse with her. Then I flicked back because she went on live. I'm like, listen, you will see me show up. You will see me edify you. You will see me leverage you. You will see me honor you. Because I understand that the success comes with access. And this is the hard nut truth. Some of us are not as successful as we want to be because we don't have access to the right rooms. And the reason we don't have access to the right rooms is because we're shy at the back. We let our emotion, oh, I ain't begging no one. How that working for you? That's the paradigm that we need to shift. You know, one of my mentors, I messaged for 1.5 years with no response. I needed something from her. She didn't need nothing from me. And you see, the mindset, this is why we do this, mind work. Mind work. The paradigm shift. We were taught from young to compete. We were taught from young to have this attitude like we know it all. We were taught from young. How many of us got taught, no make nobody take you for idiot? That was my mom. In other words, don't make no one take you for an idiot. Right? Any of us been taught that back in the day? When we were younger, our parents is like, you know, don't talk to strangers. Hold up. That's the broke mentality. Talking to strangers makes you money. Talking to strangers is how you build a network. And the people that build the largest networks in the world make the most money. Franchise, McDonald's, they have the largest network in the world. That's why they're a multi-billion-dollar brand. Amazon, the largest network in the world. But they told us not to talk to strangers. Well, how do we create a network if we don't talk to new people? That's the paradigm that, oh yeah, we got to be shy. We got to be reserved. Nobody should know our business. Don't talk about things. This is why we have depression. Because we were taught to keep our stuff private and we shouldn't share and we shouldn't tell the truth. Oh yeah, this is family business. Don't go to school and talk to no one. How many of our parents said that? How many of our parents said, listen, keep our business in this house. You don't tell nobody nothing. When you leave this house, you don't say a word. You don't even tell people what you ate for dinner. Don't chat our business when you leave this house. These are some of the paradigms that we got to shift. Don't beg nobody nothing. If you're hungry, wait till you come home. How many of our parents taught us that? Because it's shameful to beg on the street. You're going to make them look bad if you go begging on the street. Don't beg nobody nothing. You wait till you come home. So these paradigms have been put in our mind from young. We don't even realize that these paradigms are holding us back. Oh no, I don't want to beg nobody. I don't want to ask for help. Asking for help has been taught as a problem in our upbringing. And now the people that don't ask for help are the poorest. The people that don't ask for help are the ones suffering. The people that don't ask for help are the ones committing suicide. Guys, we have to shift the paradigm of not asking for help. And don't get it twisted. You go and DM Oprah. Do you think she's going to answer you? If you DM Oprah today, ask her for help. Do you think Oprah is going to answer you straight away? Now, she could. But how do you gain access? There's got to be consistency. There's got to be persistence. And so this mind work is so important. Change the mind. You see, you're one connection away from changing your life. It's not the charts. It's not the building the business. It's your connection. It's your communication. It's your pride. What does the Bible say? Your pride is what comes before a fall. But your your emotions are tricking you, telling you, oh, it's going to be embarrassing. What if they say no? What if they ignore me? Oh, I messaged her once and she didn't respond, so I ain't even going to message her back again. Who needs who? Are you invested in your own deliverance, or are you more interested in your own pride? I had to ask myself this. I don't want to seem like I'm fussing no one. I don't seem like I'm begging no one. I don't want to seem like I'm upping people. I don't want to see. Whose rules were those? Where did we get taught that? How many of us got sold in school? Teacher's pet. Watch them sucking up to the teacher. That was seen as a bad thing, but they got A's. Hello. So we've been taught to hate against success. Oh, some of us don't even realize that from school days, we've been taught to hate against successful people. That the successful people were isolated because they were successful, and we were mocking the successful people because that was the cool thing to do, because we felt insecure about ourselves because they were getting the results that we wanted. So instead of us saying, well, successful person, you're sucking up to the teacher, but what is it that you do? Can you teach me a little something, something? That was not the norm. So we have to shift that paradigm. How do we shift the paradigm? We do the mind work before we go to our bed every single night. We make sure that we say the affirmations. I am a positive person. I celebrate others. I have no bad mind in my heart. I support and encourage positivity. I'm integral. What did Robert Kiyosaki say in that? He said something like, you know, when people's backs are against the wall, that's when you see how they're going to behave, whether they're going to cheat, steal, or be integral. I'm going to just say this right now, guys. I don't mingle with everybody. You're going to see flyers on social media. You're going to see events. And you're like, oh, why are we not there? What's going on? I'm intentional about everything. Not every invitation you should accept. Somebody put an amen in the chat for that. Not every invitation, and you don't have to understand why, but you have to be vigilant to your mentor. You got to be vigilant to be like, okay, so how come that's going on? And we ain't really talking about that. The reason why we ain't talking about that, because we know something that we don't know. We know something that we don't know. So that's why we ain't talking about that. Not everywhere. My presence isn't for everywhere, guys. My mindset's different. Before, I used to want to, people please, be sucking up to everything. But now I turn things down with class. Now I say, my presence don't need to be there, because my character, who I am and whose I am, tells me where I'm going. Not for no volume, not for no people pleasing, not for because I want to impress anybody. I do things because he tells me what to do. He governs me. The Holy Spirit governs me. And anything that's not integral, anything that I don't feel like is going to be a positive impact on my credibility, I'm not co-signing it. So sometimes you got to make decisions that some people will even be confused about. You got to confuse the enemy, because yes, there are times when you may have to work alongside people that you don't get on with. But one thing I will tell you guys, and it was said on the call yesterday, integrity is everything. We build this business with integrity. We build this business doing the right thing. And, I tell you this, guys, all right, and I'll be honest with you, if integrity is more important to me than sales, integrity is more important to me than a trading account being $1 million. Integrity, me having a clean heart and pure hands, is more important to me than money. People once thought, oh, if you hit platinum 1000, that's going to tick the box. No. Rank is the lowest form of leadership. And we have to be vigilant and pay attention to what it is that we're seeing, because sometimes we miss the clues because we're so focused on the back. And one thing I've always promised to lead you guys with integrity, Holy Spirit driven. We ain't here to chase the bag, because if you're chasing for something, it means that something's running away from you. We attract the bag. We don't chase the bag. And that's why we don't beg no one to join this team. We don't beg no one to stay in this team. We don't beg nobody, because what is for us is for us. Who God puts in alignment with this team, with Wealthier World, with you, with your family, with your people, is who he puts in front of you. And who leaves, we already said it last week, those individuals were here for a reason and a season. And some of us may be here for a lifetime. And you have to decide your fate. How many of you are going to be here next year? How many of you are going to be here the year after? Because this business, this race is not for the swift, but those that can endure it to the end. I am never impressed by fast results, guys. What impresses me is a Lavinia who's been here 2 years, who came in, struggled at first, but didn't quit, and then found her thing, and now is thriving. That is what impresses me. Who can keep their head in the game? What impresses me is someone like Jade that shows up consistently time and time again, despite knockbacks, despite grandma passing away. Angelina, been here for the game, been here for years, despite seeing highs and lows. Auntie Anne, been here for a long time, many months, not making no money, but stayed in the game because she believed. That's what I see. That's what really impresses wealthy people. Integrity, focus, showing up. I said this last week, that successful people are quick to make a decision and slow to change their mind. Unsuccessful people take ages to make a decision and quick to change their mind. Guys, this is an 18-month opportunity. And if you come in here like, oh, if I don't make money in my first month, I'm going to quit. That is the wrong mentality to have. You got to be in this for the long haul. You got to see the vision. $1 billion brand, 1 million customers. We are here to change the lives of our family. We are here to create generational wealth. And so this is why integrity must be at the heart of everything, because this is not a get rich quick. You can make money today and blow it tomorrow. You guys know this. If making money was the prerequisite of success, every educator would be a chairman. Yes or yes? How come all the educators are not chairmen and they're all making money? That means that making money here is not the prerequisite of a successful business. A successful business owner does not have to make a lot of money. What it is people that have relationships with other people, people that can help other people grow, people that can be trustworthy, integral. These are the things that's going to get you long-term success. Not making money. Making money is a byproduct of your heart. Let me tell you this. You will have some people that come in, they make money real quick. Yeah. And it's impressive and everyone's hyped about them. But guess what? They can't sustain because the heart reveals. And when the heart reveals, it cannot sustain. So I want to encourage you, don't be looking at the left and looking at the right. Oh, they just came in a week ago and they're so much ahead of me. Stay focused on your goal, because you could be jealous of a heart that isn't clean. And you don't know how much somebody has lost when they're screenshot. Listen, nobody is sharing their losses on Instagram. No one. So it's important that you control your emotions and you remember the truth. Do you want me to tell you the truth? The truth is that you are blessed and highly favored. The truth is that your success is in the palm of your hands. The truth is that you have the same 24 hours as any multi-millionaire, billionaire in this world. The truth is that you have access to tools and technology that is changing the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in the world. The truth is that your work ethic is a result of your work. Is a result of your results. The truth is that you have a skill set that's on the inside of you waiting to be birthed out. And the truth is that you are blessed and highly favored, girl. The truth is that you have the availability, the opportunity to be the first multi-millionaire in your family. The truth is that you can do this. And so when those emotions come to attack you, you better know what the truth is. And this is why we do the mind work, to tell ourselves the truth every single night. What are the affirmations you're telling yourself? I tell myself I'm integral. I tell myself I will not look at anybody else. I tell myself, though the invitations may come, I will make sure that I check my heart. I will make sure that I don't show up. My presence is not in a place that I don't feel will be positive and leading to the people. I'll make sure that I connect with individuals in a way that I want to edify and surplus their life. I make sure that when I speak over myself, I'm attracting positive people, that anything negative has to flee from my life, that I will make sure that people are better off once they've connected with me than before they knew me. This is the truth, that I am an amazing mom. This is the truth, that I'm an amazing businesswoman. This is the truth, I am a billionaire. This is the truth, I am. And this is what you got to tell yourself every single day. What is the truth? What is the truth that you're telling yourself? Don't let these emotions trick you. Don't let things trick you and mess you up. You got to stay woke to this thing, because the emotions will creep in subtly, whether it be an internal voice, an external voice, whether it be what you see on the ground. These things will come to trick you. You got to make sure that you are in alignment and in check. Understand your emotions, ladies and gents. Understand what they're saying to you. Understand where the pain is. Deal with it. And remind yourself of the truth. Of the truth. Give it up for the word today, guys. I'm excited about that. The truth will